I want to welcome you to the Berks County Agricultural Center. This is a facility that, since its inception, has acted as a gathering place and a center of agriculture here in the county of Berks. When it was built in the mid-70s, it was unique. And I will tell you, in my discussions with counties across the Commonwealth and even counties throughout the country, there are very, very few counties that have an agricultural center, but not only that, have their own Department of Agriculture. Berks County is so proud to have both, and it's not because of some politicians that we have this. It is because of the agricultural community here in Berks County, many of which are represented here today. We are here to announce phase 1 of the renovation of this agricultural center. For those of you that are closely connected, you know our ag partners here in this building. And our ag partners include, in addition to our Department of Ag, and I'm going to start recognizing people. I apologize, I have a list, but if I make a mistake, just raise your hand and let me know. But our Department of Ag, Emily Wangolo, I was with her yesterday at Ag Progress Days, but she's on vacation. We have Kim Fees and Amanda, that's why I can't see them. They're right. Amanda Burkhart-Sell. They are the deputy directors of our ag department. Very glad to have them here. We also have our partners in the conservation district and Dean Druckenmiller. Dean is in the back, and we have a number of our board members. I know Glenn Seidel, wave your hand in the back. His wife Jane Seidel is here with him. Piper Sherburne is our chair, and wave your hand, Piper. We also have Joe Rosenbaum, and we have Larry Kale. Nobody really knows Larry Kale. He's one of the more quiet people on our Conservation District Board. If you know him, you know that I'm lying. I'm also a member of the Conservation District Board. We have Penn State Extension. Several folks here, raise your hand. Stephanie Shirk is the regional director, and I'm going to, Brian, and I completely drew a blank here. Lisa, I'm sorry. But Penn State Extension has been a big part of our team. We also have our federal partners, FSA and NRCS right here, and we're so excited. For those of you that haven't heard, we recently signed a 20-year lease agreement. So we're going to have FSA and NRCS with us for a very long time. In addition, I want to recognize Pomona Grange. We have Nettie Kaufman here representing, and this is one of our great community ag partners. If you have questions about Grange, talk to Nettie Hoffman. We also, is Warren Green here? Warren Green is here from Rodale. Again, some proud ag heritage in the northeastern part of Berks County. Glad to have Warren here. Doug Wolfgang and Greg Hostetter from the Pennsylvania Department of Ag. I was actually, several of us were up at Ag Progress Days yesterday. Thank you very much for joining us. And then Jessica Gerhardt is Farm Service Agency. We have Jim Gerlach here from the Greater Reading Chamber Alliance. And I'm going through this to help you understand how connected and committed we are to ag. There was a long period of time when the chamber was not really connected to ag. GRCA is not just connected to ag in word. It's part of the economic development contract between the county and GRCA. Jim is the president. Katie Hetherington Cunfer is their government relations person. And I will tell you, she has a deep history in agriculture up in Schuylkill County, strawberry farmers in a big, big way. But Katie's been a real key part coordinating with our Department of Ag and our other ag partners. Stephanie Shirk, I already recognized. I think that's everyone else. Just a few comments before I have someone come and explain the project. I look at agriculture, and there's so many things that people think about when they think of agriculture. Food on our table, supplying the world. But let me suggest a couple of other things. One, food security is national security. Now, that's not original with me. I remember that from two of the gentlemen that helped to start the Pennsylvania State Ag Land Preservation Program. That was former State Senator Noah Wenger from Lancaster County. My dad and Noah grew up together. And former Secretary of Ag Sam Hayes. When they put that legislation in place, they saw this as national security. We need to understand that here in Berks County as well. Secondly, it wasn't about preserving land. It was about preserving production agriculture. And that's what Berks County is committed to. We now are roughly, Kim, 78,000 acres plus of preserved active agriculture here in Berks County. That is a big deal. That, when people complain to me about development, I tell them we are number 2 in total preserved acres, farmland acres in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, only behind Lancaster County, although we remain number 1 in Pennsylvania in preserved acres under the Pennsylvania Ag Land Preservation Program. It's important. The final thing I'll say about agriculture, it is the number 1 industry in Berks County by gross revenue. Not necessarily the number of people that work in ag, but when you look at production agriculture, processors, wholesalers, retailers, and you look at what they do for our local economy, it is enormous. That is why this Ag Center is so important, not just to our past, but to the future of this county. This commitment, and this is a multi-million-dollar commitment over 2 phases, is a commitment to the future of agriculture in this community and in this county. Make no mistake about it, it's not just our past. It is also our future, and our commitment, I think, is proof of that. With that, I'm going to ask Doug Bowden to come. Doug is the Deputy Director of Facilities. He's been intricately involved in this project, and he is going to take some time to explain what we're doing, how it's being done, and both Phase 1 and Phase 2. Doug?
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Leinbach. Hello, and welcome everyone to the construction kickoff for the Agricultural Center renovation project. The Ag Center is originally built in 1973 and houses multiple county and federal agencies. There are 2 sections to the building, a 36,000 square foot area at the front that includes 2 stories over a basement, and the rear portion is a 30,000 square foot single story warehouse building. Phase 1, which is over here on these easels, includes the conversion of the 30,000 square foot warehouse section into new federal and county office suites, a county workshop, county garage and storage spaces, updated facilities such as ADA compliant toilet rooms and a break area, as well as mechanical and electrical upgrades. Exterior renovations to Phase 1 as well include removal of the existing metal panel exterior walls and the construction of new energy efficient facade, which will be finished with the combination of metal panels, stone veneer, and large window areas to allow for natural light. That's as well as pictured over here. Future Phase 2, which is over here on my left, work at the multi-story section of the building includes exterior facade renovations, window replacements, as well as selective interior renovations. Phase 1 construction is underway and expected to be completed in the spring of 2024. Thank you.
Thank you very much. At the end, we will be taking questions to answer anything that you might have specifically. At this time, I want to recognize my colleagues, and I want to say something. In county government, maybe more than any other level, nothing happens because of one person. It doesn't even happen because of 3 commissioners. It takes a team, and we have had a great team, including the tenants of this building. They have been involved in every step of the way in recommendations, suggestions, and ideas, and my colleagues have been a big part of this as well. So I want to start with the Vice Chair of our board, Commissioner Michael Rivera.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today. Excited about what's going on here. I hope you are as well. And when we looked at this actually started a few years ago, if not longer. I've only been here 3.5 years. But when this building was built, it was built to meet the needs at that time of the groups that were here, the organizations that were here, the needs of the county at that time. Since then, the needs have changed. And when we were discussing this, we were looking at, well, you know what, the needs have been changing, but we wanted to do something in which we can keep all the organizations that are currently here, that we could keep them together rather than have them go to different places because this facility was no longer meeting their needs. So looking at our options, we said, well, we can knock it down and build new, or we can work around what we have and remodel it and meet the needs through that. And it was determined that this building was built, it's a solid building. The building isn't going anywhere. So he said, well, instead of knocking it down and building new, we're going to keep it and we're going to make the changes that we need to be able to meet the needs of our partners here. So I'm glad that this is finally getting started here. I'm also very, very excited that we're able to keep our federal partners here, Penn State Extension, the Conservation District, our Ag Department, all of them together because they're here to meet the needs of our ag community, but not only of our ag community, but of Berks County overall, because Penn State does a lot more than the ag community, so does the Conservation District. So I'm glad that we were able to find a way to keep everyone here, meet their needs, and have a place where our ag community can come to have their needs met. So thank you for being here today. I want to thank all our partners here, including our facilities department, our ag department, and everyone else involved in this process. Thank you very much.
And I'd also like to recognize our newest commissioner, and I will say this publicly and on camera. I'm only disappointed about one thing with Lucine Sahelnick, our newest commissioner, and that is that she didn't run so that we could serve with her into the future. She has been an amazing partner. She's one of the sharpest and smartest people I've worked with in a long time, and that's not taking anything away from the people I work with today. I just have been amazed, and others have commented, how quickly she has come up to speed and has taken the time and the effort to get to know the organization, even though at the end of the year, her term is up. My colleague, Commissioner Lucine Sahelnick.
Well, thank you. I think what I'll do is hire you to lead my campaign when I do run for something else. Okay. I'm so happy to be here today and to see all of you. And I'm looking at these renderings by Muhlenberg Green, and I'm looking for where the cow is going to go. So somebody's going to have to tell me. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, come see me afterwards. As Commissioner Leinbach mentioned, I am the newest commissioner, but I'm not new to this building, and I'm not new to this county, and I'm not new to the Department of Agriculture and the community of agriculture. when these conversations started about renovating these buildings, I was already serving my hours here, not as a commissioner, but as a community member, like many of you. I have been delighted to put countless hours in these buildings, in this hall, in the second level, in every nook and cranny of this odd building that we call our center, out of a commitment to what can we do to preserve and continue the tradition of agriculture. I was the president of Bern, the Berks Agricultural Resource Network, for several years, and through that term, we had countless meetings. We had strategic planning, reorganization, and spent hours in different places of this facility, trying to bring together the people and ideas of how to enhance networking within our farming community. When the pandemic hit, I was able, as Vice President of City Council, to call on a task force led primarily through our extension office's connections and other ag-like minded individuals to say, how do we focus on making sure that our supply chain and feeding our community members is a priority, not only throughout the county, but in the city as well. So again, many hours there working through that, working with the Berks County Conservation District. I see Dean back there smiling, because an outcome of that was really urban ag and being able to partner and focus on projects that just a month ago, I was there for the opening of what we call a pocket park. You may not think about agriculture and conservation when you think about these things that I'm talking about, but they're all connected. Stormwater, and waste management, feeding people, being able to grow your own food, a green environment, it is critical no matter where you live in Berks County. And also the different agencies that are also represented here. I've been seeing them at meetings that I've been going to. So this is really a collective center, and it is a hub. And the commitment to invest in making this a better place, a place that is going to be here for the long term in the future, is really commitment, because what I've experienced in this building is baby showers. I've experienced retirement parties here. I said I've experienced strategic planning. I've experienced meetings where I was the only person talking and nobody else wanted to talk back. There's been community building here year after year. There's been obviously all kinds of farming related activities, and that needs to continue. As Commissioner Leinbach said, agriculture is a growth sector here in Berks County. And there's a lot of multi-sectional points for agriculture. So when you think about it, in agriculture as an industry, it's not only farming, producing, it's also ag literacy, it's also writing, it's also media, there's so many, manufacturing, production. This is all ag related. It's not its own, and so this hub is critical to maintain that as a force for Berks County. Sustainability is something that I talk about a lot, and I believe it's because in the 3 pillars, it ties together what we need to move forward as a community. And I think that it exemplifies what's here in this building. As I mentioned, this is a community place. It's also an economic driver, right? As long as we can keep meeting and supporting the needs of our agriculture community, our economy will keep growing, and Berks County will become stronger in a financial sense. And also the environment. We've talked about how people can walk in here and do soil testing, learn how to grow a garden in the extension programs, and walk through all the displays and demonstrations here. So we know that farming is our future. And as a commissioner, I look forward to the investment that will be in this building, even though I won't be commissioner at the time when we come back in 24 or the different phases. I know that we'll be building our community, and we'll be building agriculture, and we'll be investing in all of you. So thank you for giving me that opportunity. At this time, back to you.
Thank you very much. Just a few other introductions. Jim Sorrow from Muhlenberg Green. They have been working on this project literally for years. Some of you the people that are tenants here know it's taken a long time, but we are here. Also, I did want to recognize we don't have representatives here from Bern. the Berks Agricultural Resource Network, but they are key partners. We also don't have anyone here from the Berks Farm Bureau. Larry Gelsinger actually is a member of our Conservation District and is president of the Farm Bureau. I also want to recognize, I believe it's Heidi Secord, and you are the statewide director for FSA. Very glad to have you. And then finally, while we focus on ag, there are two other entities that are here. I don't want to just call them tenants because they are county. One has been mentioned, facilities will continue to have a presence here. And secondly, the district attorney's detective unit. Now they are kind of hidden from everyone and don't necessarily, it's not really accessible, but they are in the basement. When I took office in 2008, the basement here was 911. We forget about that, but the detectives and their forensic unit are based here. So thank you very much for coming out. I'm going to open it up to questions. The questions are not just from the media. Anyone that's here, if you have questions, feel free to ask them. We have Muhlenberg Green here, Doug Bowden, the other commissioners. And if it's a question I just really don't know or I don't want to answer it, I'm going to refer it to Dean Druckenmiller at the Conservation District. So, yes, sir. And just give us your name.
Steve Henshaw, the Reading Eagle.
Yes.
I noticed that looking at the second floor plan that there's a little, it looks like the coroner's office is included in there. Is there a plan to relocate other offices, other county offices?
Very, very good point. Yes, the coroner's office is in the second floor. We will save money by moving the coroner from MacArthur Road, where it is currently located. Interestingly enough, that building is leased for two purposes: archives for the county and the coroner. Archives are being moved to the South Campus, and the coroner will be moved here to the second floor. It's a very good point because of the availability of space. Question? Don't call me in an hour with your question if you have a question now. Going once, going twice, sold. Well, thank you very much for coming out. I encourage you, and Doug will be here, Muhlenberg Green, come to the front, take a look at these drawings. We didn't say this, but both Phase 1 and Phase 2 are fully committed to and fully funded. We are not loaning money. The money for these projects is coming out of our reserves. That's the way we've dealt with capital for probably, Kevin, the last 16 years. Capital, we've been able to, because we're fiscally responsible, we've been able to have the dollars to do the capital projects. But this is fully committed, both Phase 1 and Phase 2. Thank you very much.